What's going on, everybody? This is 1 month later. That right there was thanks to down there, Carlos. His guy Dusty made us that introduction. That was amazing. We love it. Can't wait to keep using it. Welcome back. We're going to talk about Radiant Black, Infinite Frontier. Talk about some DC stuff that they're doing. We just saw the news on Batman: The Adventure Continues Season 2. Pretty cool. I'm not as hyped as Nick is, but but I'm hyped. Any other news that comes from there, and we plan to talk about, maybe if we get to it, the Winter Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and what we look forward to from that. Anything else that's in the chat? If you want to do in the chat, throw something in there, let us know, and we'll talk about it for sure. Let's get started. Follow us on YouTube. Matt's going to be posting that there soon. Follow us here on Twitch. Radiant Black, that's the first thing. That's a book by, is that Boom Studios?
No, man.
Image. Image? Oh, Image. It's very Power Rangers like, so I thought maybe Boom. But yeah, there it is. And Carlos, I'm pretty sure, has all of the variants, and we got a couple of them right there. What do you guys think?
Boom.
What do y'all think about Radiant Black? What do you likes, dislikes? Any dislikes yet? Anything that y'all don't like about Radiant Black?
I haven't read it yet.
At least off the first, there's nothing to dislike yet, because it's only been one issue. So what really could be wrong with the title? Good intro into the character, really quick but really good character development. The dialogue is super different than anything I've read in a long time. Besides Bill and Ted, it's on that level of weird comedy dialogue. But then he had superpowers. So what?
I don't know. I do appreciate everyone says that I've talked about with this book is that that is very relatable and stuff like that. And at one point, though, I'm just like, no, man, this is not relatable. This guy's life sucks. My life's fine. This guy's got 38,000 in debt. I don't want that at all. But he gets power, so I am kind of jealous of that.
The only Nick mentioned, there really isn't anything negative that I can say about the issue. The only thing that I was bummed out about, but it's not really a criticism, is that we didn't get to see him really, get into action and fight somebody. But that makes perfect sense, though, because it was a setup, and I love the setup, man.
I was just about to say, Nuno's not here right now, unfortunately, but I was going to say, with Carlo and Nuno, they're over here complaining about Monica Rambeau and WandaVision not being able to fight toe-to-toe with everybody who knows, toe-to-toe versus Thanos. Yep. And you're not gonna get that from the first issue. He just got his powers.
And that's exactly why it's not even a complaint. It's more of a bummed out kind of thing, because I'm just so excited, to see what the suit can do, and what Nathan, the main character, is gonna do with the suit, how he's gonna turn it into a superhero. But that's definitely what's awesome about the setup. And it looks like in issue number 2, we're gonna get introduced to, and Carlo has it on his background. We're gonna get introduced to Radiant Red,
which was something that's crazy. Usually you get the Reverse Flash or the anti-Superman or the anti-whatever later on in the stories, but you're getting that's the first villain.
I know, and that's actually what excites me, man. I think that it's setting up that perfect opposite, that perfect polar opposite, where our main character Nathan, he's a guy that, like you mentioned, Manny, he's down on his luck. He's a shit ton of money into debt. He's a failed writer, and he's moving back home with his parents. It looks like he's moving back to his hometown. He meets up with his best friend Marshall, who I thought was hilarious, man.
He's great.
He's a typical guy that never left the hometown.
exactly. But at first I got villain vibes from him. Then that ended up going away once they ended up going out to the bar and they caught up. And by the end of the issue, I felt like, man, Marshall's the guy that's gonna have that heart. You know, the guy that Nathan is gonna turn to, and he's gonna be his best bud that's always there for him, man.
I feel like he's gonna
And
try to help, but he's gonna mess up a lot of things. I think he's gonna definitely be that guy to fuck shit up.
for sure. But I think that that's where like the comedy is gonna come from. And what I really enjoyed about this issue is that, like Nick mentioned, it read like something that I haven't read in a long time, and I can't even say what was the last comic or series that I read that had this kind of like dialogue and humor, because I was personally dying, man, from the first 2 pages. Like I was cracking up, man.
Now you know what that brings me to like a negative of what pissed me off. It's his character, but it to me, I'm just like, if this was in my life, I'd be so pissed. Is Marshall like talking to the cops like, no, we're not gonna move off the train tracks. There's a train coming. I don't care. You can't make us. That pissed me off so much. I was like, what are you doing, man? Why? There's no point.
And you know what? I felt the same way, but what I liked was that uh, Nathan, after shit like calmed down, he got pissed off at him, and he was like, "Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
why would he do something like that?" Um, but the point that I was getting to is that I really enjoyed that they're setting up. It looks like they're setting up Radiant Red to be that perfect polar opposite to Nathan, who, as I was mentioning, he's down in his luck, and after coming in contact with the Radiant suit, he talks to Marshall, and he says that he doesn't want to mess this up. Like, he's messed everything up in his life, and that he wants to do good. So our guy's being set up to be the hero, and Radiant Red. It seems like the first thing that this person, whoever they are, is to go and rob a bank. And I think that already tells you, like, this is what's important to this person. And I think he's going to set up that really cool, polar opposite, where Nathan's trying not to fuck up his life and do something good, and then you got Radiant Red.
But what are the chances?
Want to, just profit and use the suit for their own self interest.
What are the chances that this Radiant Black sphere, whatever, shows up in the same town? You know what I mean? Like, is it the same town? Did they say? Because for some reason I'm thinking Chicago, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I read the first 6 pages of issue 2, like on the Image website. Like, you get to read the preview, so they do encounter each other. And also, I want to say that I totally disagree with you, Manny, about that. I can't relate, because most comic book readers, they always think, oh, I can write something better, or they're writing like a little story on their binder, like little love notes or whatever. So I believe that most comic book readers are like writing or imagining of writing, and I'm sure like none of them are like successful. So they're like failed writers. So I totally related. I mean, I'm not a loser, but I can relate. Like, I went through a writer phase, but that never went anywhere. I have a little book where I wrote some ideas, but that's where it ended.
One of our future segments is definitely going to be one of the things that Carlo wrote. So look out for that.
Oh, and real quick to answer the question. So I just flipped through to this show really quick. But yeah, it looks like it is in kind of the same general area, because Nathan is in Illinois, and then when you get introduced to Radiant Red, it just says Chicago. So
okay,
yeah.
And as far as the action, there was no action per se, but Nathan can lift a damn train and cops by accident.
He's powerful, man.
He's up for like some action-packed scenes later, like in issue 2 or 3. So there's going to be action, and I'll be patient. It's like, I wasn't disappointed. I'm looking forward to issue 2, and that's even before I read the first 6 pages of issue 2. So it's going to be action packed. It's going to have like relatability. It's going to have the art. It's going to have the story. It's going to have, like, I'm interested in Radiant Red. Like, why is this person robbing a bank? I mean, I think a lot of us, probably one of you guys, first thing we do is like rob a bank. That's obvious. I have superpowers. I'm tired of being broke. I'm going to go to my local Bank of America and get rich. So that's also relatable. Like I don't think I would do that. I'm kind of honest, but it's somewhat relatable.
You're so calm when Nuno's not over here hyping you up, man. Oh man, I'm not trying to make fun of Nuno. Nuno is definitely one of our boys, and we miss him. And I miss him here right now because he would definitely be talking shit about Radiant Black right now for sure. I feel like
You know, in terms of the relatability, I think that not. I wouldn't say that the majority of people are 38K in debt, but there are those people out there. But I think just the overall general premise of having that hardship, having a dream that you've been working for, that you've been working towards forever, and that it doesn't pan out, and when it doesn't, you're embarrassed and you have a hard time admitting that to your family, to your friends. And that's what Nathan was doing. He said that he had a novel that he was writing, that he was just having struggle in with finishing it, and that his agent or publicist is just waiting to get it in his hands so that they can publish it. And then he finally comes clean to his buddy Marshall and lets him know, hey man, I haven't even started this. I think that at one point or another, everyone has dealt with those kinds of disappointments or that financial hardship, but you keep on moving on, and I think that that's what Nathan is ultimately trying to do, and I think that that's what makes him kind of relatable in that sense. And Radiant Black is reminding me of like a mixture between Spider-Man, Invincible, and Power Rangers. Like that's like the best way that I can describe this type, with humor, like with some.
So I'm gonna say everything you just said, but I'm gonna add in, like I said before, if you guys didn't read the recent, I don't remember who did it. It was Boom or Image or Dark Horse, but there was recent Bill and Ted comics when the movie was coming out.
I didn't read them, but I remember seeing them though.
The level of dialogue, it's like everything you just said. I agree with Invincible and Power Rangers and Spider-Man, but like the level of humor and like not humor to be on purpose to make a joke, just regular dialogue that is just very humorous.
Awesome.
And
hey Matt, were you being truthful when you just said that you haven't read it?
Yeah. I'll just get back issues.
Yeah, you do your back issues because you're failing, man. Yeah. How have you not read this yet, man? It's so good.
Oh, this fucking, well, we're in the comic shop and I fucking forgot. You guys keep recommending me all these fucking books and I keep forgetting. I walk in there. Like lucky I had the video with you guys. I'm going to have to start streaming me walking in there every week because you reminded me to grab Nocterra. You reminded me to grab Berserker.
all right, that's what we're gonna talk about. I want to at our boy Carlos.
About what?
All right, not Carlos, Carlo. Well, I saw your review on this.
You didn't like it? Oh yeah, you didn't like it, did you?
Yeah, dude.
What
I
the
gotta,
heck?
bro.
We're gonna kick him out soon. Don't worry about it.
But before we kick him out and before we tell him why he's wrong, we have to allow him to plead his case. So Carlo, plead your case.
So, like, the premise is like it's black, and then the truck has like all these lights, and then you have like, I don't know. I think I was just biased because there's like goofy looking characters in the back of a truck, and it's like I don't know. It's just like,
sorry for everyone that's not like tuning in live or watching the video. We're talking about Nocterra.
Yeah,
Nocterra issue number 1 from Image Comics by Scott
Snyder
and Tony Daniel.
Snyder.
Yeah, Scott Snyder and Tony Daniel. Anyways, plead your case, Nuno.
So they go to like the safe spot, but like what they're trying to do, what's their purpose, what's their downfall, what issue are they having. I mean, I get it.
They say everything in the comic. Everything's explained.
I just don't care. It's like, oh my god, there's like bad creatures and things like I don't care. Like there was no character development. There's nothing exciting going on. There's no action-packed scenes. Like, wow, my flashlight kills this animal. Like, man, this is nah. Like, I just didn't care for the characters, for the art, for the story, for anything. It was just kind of bland.
What did you need? What did you need from it?
I will read issue 2 because it wasn't that bad. But it was actually, I think what it was, I read Radiant Black first. So Radiant Black is Las Vegas, and Nocterra's like Reno. Like you go to Reno first, you like it, and then you go to Vegas. And I think that's what happened because I just did not enjoy Nocterra #1. I just didn't care about anything. The characters, the story, but nothing. Bland, boring, no action, no nothing.
Not even the fact that she was blind.
Build it up, mate. Can't give fucking action all in the first part.
No, the first story. Well, I did care about the characters. I did care about where did this black orb come from. What is this bad guy up to? Like, I like the humor. I like the art. It's like it was a beautiful book. It's like fucking 10. It's like I can't complain about anything about.
Now he's making me question everything. I gotta look through Nocterra and look at the art again.
And I think the costumes on those like people in the back of the truck is like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, it's a post-apocalyptic world where light is the only thing that protects them. So everyone's like, you left to take care of the hole in the wall last week, so you didn't get to hear Carlos rant and rave about the costumes.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, man, it's apocalyptic world, man.
No, I think that's like overdone. Like, I don't know, like this whole like.
No, I love the artwork. The artwork here is
coming out at the moment before this apocalyptic war shit.
So and look, I won't argue the point that the post-apocalyptic, has been done. I mean, over and over again. But what I enjoyed about this issue, like I mentioned last time, is that, or the series so far, is that I feel like this is a pretty unique take on that premise, and that the monsters and the cause for these monsters is somewhat unique, to me. It's not zombies. It's not, fucking like aliens, or I mean, who knows? It may be aliens, but at least right now, it's not zombies. It's not, monsters coming from like, I don't know, a different dimension. At least not yet. But how these monsters, come about, and the fact that it's people that get infected with like darkness, and the way that it's done, it's just a unique premise to me.
You're not even curious about like what caused it or why it happened. Like the grandpa and the granddaughter, like that.
You get to see the flashbacks of the day it happened.
Yeah,
like you get to see all this background information that's flashed back throughout, and you get my favorite part is the villain at the end.
Yes.
Well, you don't know if he's a villain. Well, we're assuming he's a villain.
I mean, he's all shadowy.
This guy, he's wearing this silhouette suit that when he touched the dude, he burnt the guy's face off. That's an action?
I think that was the only cool part. That was pretty cool.
I thought it was cool that she's a trucker that's driving a caravan that whips out these light batons.
I thought it was pretty cheap. I will say that it was cheap that she got in this awesome battle with this creature, and she's struggling with it. I did like the fact that she struggled with it. It's not like just an extra creature that she can just smack away easily. She actually struggled. But what I thought was cheap was that when she lost or whatever, she was right next to the base. Like, okay, how likely is it that she was so close to the base that they can put the floodlights on the creature and then she's fine. She made it through.
I just can't wait to see girls dressing like that up at Comic-Con.
Please. That was the only cool costume of the book.
It's a nice costume. That's what I like about it.
I did like when they said, I'm going to make a love story. It's like, it's not over till it's over. I said, that made me smile. And that was the only humorous part. Like, And the little girl, she's going blind. It's like, okay, I'm a little bit interested that she's going blind. Where is this going to go? And it doesn't go anywhere. It's like,
Wait, who's going
the
blind?
only interesting part.
Oh,
is
how she lost her eyesight when she was a child,
Okay.
and then she got the surgery to get it back.
I do think that is a theory of mine for this book, is that she's gonna lose her sight again, and she's gonna be complete darkness, and that's gonna come to play.
But you know this sunburn.
Yeah,
that
that's
came before or after during it. Because
Well,
he's
he's
claiming
saying-
that it came during it, didn't he?
yeah. He's saying that the place that he wants them to take them is a place that has sunlight.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? I don't know if you remember it, but it's completely different, but kind of what? Waterworld. Where they got to find that land.
Oh,
the only
what?
land.
All right, I'm going to say this right now, Matt, because I'm assuming that no one in America has ever seen Waterworld
Oh,
because
yeah.
it was labeled as a really shitty movie, even though it's a really good movie.
It's a
I watched
shitty.
it.
It's a
Great
very.
movie.
It's a very shitty. Kevin Costner, come on, he's a shitty movie. Please.
Kevin Costner.
But it's the same kind of concept. They've got to find, instead of finding land, they've got to find fucking sun.
Waterworld, man, that reminds me of my childhood for some reason. Shouldn't have been
That
watching
was
that
my
movie.
favorite as a childhood. Well, I had on the big laser discs. Did you ever have the laser discs
No.
over there?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, another complaint about Nocterra. So it's like, oh, let me check your gums to see if you're infected or whatever. And it's just like the vampire movies. Oh, did you get bit? Oh, no, I didn't. And they hide it. It's like, that's so overdone. Every fucking vampire movie, like, oh, I'm going to hide my little bite. Oh, I'm going to hide my gums. Like, not like overdone.
Well, you can't
But that's what we
really
never do.
hide your gums, like they're hidden. They're always gonna be hidden. You have to show them if you want to see them. Like,
I don't know. It's too much like that bite thing for the vampire world. I'm going to not smile and hide my gums so I'm not discovered to be a creature or something.
All right.
You gotta give it. You gotta
All
give
right,
one.
you got to admit, though, it was unique that there's a way to, like, once you get infected, there's a way to, like, reverse it if you catch it early enough.
Yeah.
With, like, the radiation therapy and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's unique takes on it. That's why, like, it starts from the gums. It's something like, oh, like, you might not even notice yourself until it's too late.
That's why I
It's
like.
Scott Snyder, mate. He takes his
Like,
time to do
if you
shit
get
up.
bit, you know you got bit. But, like, if you just kind of, it's from staying in the dark too long. If you overexpose somehow by accident, you
It's more
wouldn't
than,
know until you check your gums.
It's more than 10 hours from what I remember, right?
Yeah.
10
Yeah,
hours.
something like that.
Yeah.
But we don't know. This is what I was thinking last week. We don't know if those 10 hours are consecutive.
That's true.
I mean, I would assume so.
I mean,
But assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
That's true.
Look,
That's true. We're gonna find out.
I reread it, and my biggest questions / things that I want to see is I hope that we get more flashbacks and we see how Val got into doing what she's doing. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
She was a
what
little
drove
girl.
her to be a ferryman? How did she acquire these skills? So that's one of my really big questions.
You know what she reminds me of? A character, like
Resident Evil.
how I perceive how her fighting style is gonna prolong. She reminds me of like what Electra would be in this post-apocalyptic world.
With no
Yeah.
training.
Cool.
Another thing, I'm not a fan of the flashbacks. Like, I want my stories go in a fucking timeline. Like a
Jesus, man.
Oh, let me tell you.
Fucking 90% of comics have flashbacks, bro.
This guy doesn't like anything.
Nowadays, everything's a flashback.
Everything is a flashback.
Oh, where in the timeline is this taking place? Like, I don't want to think. I want to relax. It's like getting drunk. I want to drink and enjoy it. I don't know.
Colin said zero. This is a zero.
I just want to enjoy my downtime. Don't make me think about the timeline. I want
All
to
right.
get
So you don't read DC at all.
All right.
I think it's time to trigger Matt. Carlo got to yell. Let's make you Matt yell.
Hold on, real quick. Let's give it one more issue, and then we'll check back in with Carlos, see how he feels about Nocturne number 2. Because
This is the guy that gave WandaVision a 10 out of 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
until episode 8 and 9. That's when it went downhill.
I'm going to give every single issue of this entire series a 10. It's only the 4th episode.
I don't know.
Radiant Black was a 10. Nocterra, I give it a 4. There's potential. I didn't hate it.
I can't rate Radiant Black because I haven't got Radiant Black, but I'll say Nocterra is about a 6. Gotta give it room to breathe. Remember, room to breathe on the rating.
I give it a 7.
Yeah,
Solid start.
Mine's an 8.
It's a great foundation.
Yeah.
I agree with 7. Yeah, exactly. It established the world with not too many questions. The only good questions are story building questions. And I will say I agree to the point where like the big city that she went to, that they were celebrating light manufacturing or light bulb manufacturing. That's a little like too on the nose. Like, oh hey, like we knew it was gonna like that's stupid. But it is what it is. But I'd give it a 7 as well.